Hey, what's going on, y'all? We back with another one, man. At the end, I'm standing on the podcast. We got two of your favorites, man, chiming back in with us to talk about this topic for tonight. I got the homie Reflection here in the building, and
I
y'all know
brought
what
the
that means.
mask out. Buckle up. I brought the mask out.
Y'all know what that means when he got the mask on, man. That means he going
I'm
in
going in.
and
I'm going in.
say
I'm
something
going
crazy.
in, and I'm the only nigga coming out alive on this panel. I'm going in.
When he put the mask on, it means he hiding his identity because he going in.
I'm going
Okay.
in.
You
I
feel me?
Jewels
So
and
we got
all.
my back Legend, man. Legend back in again tonight, man, to talk about this. What up,
what
Legend?
up? What up, everybody?
You know what I'm
Boy,
saying? And this nigga right here, every time he done came on the show 2 out of 3 times, this nigga eating something, boy. This nigga real holler, man, from New York, man, chopping in with us again.
What
yo,
up, y'all? Listen, I just got finished working. You know what
My
I'm
bad.
saying?
That's love.
Hey,
I'm
my
Man,
getting my
bad.
love.
food. You know what I
I
mean?
forget you in New York sometime and I forget what the time zone is. I know it's 11 o'clock your time.
Right,
You know what I'm saying? So you try to get it in real quick.
right.
Shit, nigga. I just got out the gym, so sweating like a motherfucker. Had to go ahead and get that shit off.
Well, shit, well, let's go ahead and get started then. So, check this out, man. So, the topic for tonight is, and I want everybody's opinion. I know we all got different backgrounds, but from everything y'all stand in the street, from the kids to the mothers to the single parents, man, keep calling black queens, man, or actually that's what they label themselves. Are these black queens, man, raising criminals? I see a lot of young boys out here getting in trouble. I know in the Bay Area, for instance, they got this thing called bipping, where you can't park your car out there and breaking into your cars everywhere you go in the Bay, stealing shit up out of there. I also seen them going into the Gucci stores, the Apple stores, breaking into shit, stealing it. I see that some of the little girls now twerk dancing on buses, nigga, on all kind of shit, bus stop signs, everything. Where the mamas at? Where the parents at? I know what they always say is, well, it's the dad's fault. We know that's always the scapegoat. You know what I mean? But at the end of the
hmm
day, whether you with that dad or not, you are the one that's raising that kid that's in your household, man. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I want to get y'all opinion on this, man. Man, let me start this man with this mask all on his face because he looked like he ready to go with this one, man. Let me
Guaranteed.
you
Out the
see
right.
gate. I'ma go straight to it. The bread and butter.
Get to
What
it.
What is a woman or a mother gonna do when she has to reprimand her grown ass son when he comes in the door and done rob the store or some shit? How is she gonna handle that grown ass son now? That son that could damn near bury his fist in her face. Is she gonna be scared to chastise him? Is she gonna
Yup.
be scared to sit him down and give him that prep talk like a father, like a man would?
hmm
These are the things that women go through in their face, but they put a cloak and try to hide it from us real men that know what she's got to go through and what she has to prepare herself for when she's dealing with a man. And this don't have to be a man that she's going to bed with or a man that her brother, but it's what about when that man is her son? How do you deal with that? We can start with Chicago. Most of them killings out there is fatherless niggas running around killing. That's it. Fatherless niggas running around killing. My ideal of a respectful man is not another man showing his butt cheeks around another nigga. There is no father in a home that's going to allow that. I wouldn't allow that. If I had a son, I would always tell him, pull your pants up when you leave this house and make sure they up when you out and about. We could start there. Um, Respecting women, the respect of women has fallen at its lowest standards. The way a lot of men view women now. That's not the way I view women. Even when I had issues with women, I didn't handle it the way these niggas handle it. And then I'm gonna say this and I'm done. Emotional men. It's a lot of emotional men out here handling their beef with a gun. My era, we didn't handle beef with a gun. If I had a beef with a nigga down the street or I had a beef with a nigga at school, I wanted to see him and find out what the issue is and see if we can work it out to keep it from going there. So it's a lot of emotional men running around here. So that's why I say a woman cannot raise a man or a boy like a man can, like a father can. It's not in her DNA to do it at all.
Got you. We got Legend here, man. Legend, what's your take on this, man? I know. See, they don't be ready for Legend, man, because you know me and Legend be having these talks all the time, man. Just outside of the show, we be in driveways, man, or the late night just chopping up some shit,
Real
man.
shit.
I know he be going there, but a lot of people can't handle his opinion. You know what I'm saying? Well, how you feel about it, man?
First of all, I don't give a fuck about who can't handle my opinion because I be telling it like it is. And what I be saying is people be needing to hear this shit. You know what I'm saying? Most people don't like to hear the truth about themselves. And that's just what it is. I get it. I don't like people telling me about myself or hearing the truth about myself, but I gotta respect it. So if y'all can't respect my truth, then I don't know what to tell y'all, man. But anyway, with that shit being out the way, I'm a reflection. Here's what I have to say with in response to what you're talking about. Where do we start, right? First of all, before these women start raising these grown ass men, before they was grown, they was little niggas. So when the dad, if we say if the consensus is this, right, that black fathers they get their girl pregnant, whatever the fuck it is, and they jet off while these grown ass men is still young, you should already be putting these niggas in check. You see what I'm saying? So it's not about like y'all got these grown men. You should have been on your job before these niggas was grown. And women need to get on a job before these niggas, before these little homies grow up to be YNs. You see what I'm saying? Like my mom's, bro, I was in junior high when I was like, yo, if I say the wrong thing, I might be sweeping my teeth up with a broom and dustpan, my nigga. My mom, man, you think my mom waited until I got older, until I was grown? Fuck out of here, nigga. Like, if I even looked at my mom, nigga, if I even said, if I even sighed, nigga, like, beware. You know what I'm saying? That's that era I grew up in. And we just come to an era now where parents are younger than what they were back when my moms and our parents had us and shit. And parents are just busy trying to be their fucking kids' friends before they trying to be their parents and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got moms hanging out in the same club as their kids. Like, what the fuck is that? Like, if I'm a kid, first of all, I'm like, yo, ma, you weird. Dad, you weird. I understand, like, we actually old enough, like, we're close enough in age to where we can go and hang out, but this shit is just weird. I can't hang out with my moms. I can't hang out with my dad. Mom, you're not my friend. Dad, you're not my friend. But the parents these days, basically, we went like this, son. We went from the era of where, I speak for myself, my nigga. We went from the era of being afraid of our parents to the parents being afraid of us now. I watched a video where it was a mom. She was walking in the street, and she's like on Facebook Live or some shit like that, whatever. And she's recording the shit. And she like, yo, yeah, I had to go get this little nigga arrested, and I had to call the police because he won't do this, and he's wilding out. That motherfucker put hands on me. Da da da. Yo, son, I can't even imagine. I can't even fix my mind to ever think about putting hands on my moms, bro. Like, my moms will fuck me up before that shit even happened. And these niggas nowadays, bro, like the generation of kids coming up or even our age is just different, bro. And the way that kids are being parented is, like I said, man, because we had people in the club in the past, Benz, you know what I'm saying? You've seen this shit yourself. We had people in our own club who parents were their friends. Now, look, my mom's, my parents, we was cool. After I got older, first of all, when I was a kid, right, we weren't cool like that. We weren't friends. As I got older, now I'm an adult. Now I could bring my grown ass peoples around to my mom's crib, but it's not like, yo, we friends. Like, we not going hanging out and kicking it like that. You know what I'm saying? It's just a respect thing. And I still respectfully, even though I'm grown now, I respect my moms and my dad as my parents. They don't do that shit no more, man. That's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it comes down to. So niggas, that shit start out as young. So as soon as the dad leave, and I'll put that shit in quotes, you know what I'm saying? As soon as the dad leave, then the mom should be stepping up to the fucking plate. You know what I'm
You know,
saying?
It's
that you
not in her
mentioned that,
DNA.
now that you mentioned about let's say the dad leaving, right?
Mhm.
Because it's always, we always hear that, especially coming from our own. I don't want to speak on no other race because I'm not another race, but I can
Right.
speak on black. We always hear about the father leaving, the nigga ain't shit, this and that. Sometimes we don't really know the truth. That's just what we said all the time. Like it's the narrative now for women to say that just as a scapegoat. We don't know. Like maybe the man wasn't. Maybe he was a piece of shit, right? As far as wasn't really contributing to the house, whatever the reasons might be. You know what I'm saying? But he lacked one thing, but he was cool everywhere else. He might have been a father in the household, but maybe he just lacked financial stability. This nigga was lazy, didn't work. Like it could be anything, right? But then a mom would tell a little boy, "Oh, your daddy wasn't shit. I had to get that nigga up out of here." And we don't never hear the full truth that you might have kicked that man out the house. That man didn't just leave. You know what I mean? Or if y'all did split up, and the father say he didn't have the money like that to spend on the kid or whatnot, we always bringing it back down to the finances. This man might have a job, but he might only have enough money to really take care of himself. You know what I'm saying? And he barely struggling getting by. There is really no extra money. But with that being said, he still is trying to make time. He still want to be a part of his kid's life and be there. But because he's not coming with a bag to the door, you'll keep the kid away from the dad because he ain't got no money for you. And then you'll raise that kid saying your dad wasn't shit and he wasn't there for you. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
but the thing is too with the I want to get on the part when you was talking about the friendship and the parent thing, man. Like I talk to my parents every day down there, and even at this age, bro, I don't even feel comfortable cussing around them still to this age. I feel like this shit don't sound right. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
at the end of the day, they still not my friend, you know? Or if
Yeah.
I go visit them and they with their friends and their friends come to the house or whatnot, I say hello. I may sit around for a little bit, but I'm uncomfortable. I don't want to sit around y'all like that. Those
Yeah.
are your friends, not my friends, and we're not friends. So you know what
Yeah.
I mean? This
Yep.
whole going to the club with the kids and
Yeah.
all that and kids well now. I wouldn't like my son is at the age to go to the club. Y'all can bring him with me. He over 21 now. I wouldn't know how to turn it on and off. I wouldn't know how not to be his dad. Like if he in the club wilding out, would sit your ass down. He
Yeah.
really have fun with me. I wouldn't want him to drink. Put that down. You know what I'm saying? Like I would be that person. I know I might
Yeah.
not be meaning to do that, but it's just the parent coming out of you. You know what I'm saying? You can't do what I do. But
Yeah.
the others, where they let the kids get sloppy drunk, twerk dance all over shit, act a fool, ass all out, everything. And it's no problem. Like it's normal. You know what I mean? You especially if you got daughters, I would hope you want them to have a little bit of respect and class about themselves. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
yeah, real man, that's all I gotta say on it. But real man, what's your point and idea, man, and your opinion on this?
So, as being a man that was mostly raised by his father, and then like actually actually Benz could attest to this because he witnessed it. When I was with my mom, I got in more trouble because also too my mom wasn't as strict, or she didn't, there wasn't the rules, it wasn't the same type of rules that I had with my pops. But I was mostly raised by my pops. I lived with my mother short period, like very short periods of time. So when I was in California with my moms, that's when I was wild. And it was to the point my mom would always call my father and complaining to him, "Oh, I'm getting in trouble, I'm disrespectful, I'm doing this, I'm doing that." And it got to the point where my pops was like, "Send my son back." At this time, I think I was around 16 when I went back, because when I moved to Cali, I was 14. And so I go back with my father, and my youngest brother was raised by my mother mostly. Now, if you see how he turned out and you see how I turned out, it's like a clear cut example of what we talking about right now. My brother be wilding. He feels entitled. He, you know, and Ben's know him from a baby. He wouldn't even know him now, but he feels entitled. He feels like everybody owe him something. He be wild. Like he pulled a knife on me. He pulled a gun on my cousin Nolan and my uncle. So like him being raised by my mother and my mother being the parent that she is, he didn't turn into you know, I mean, he ain't never been to jail, but luckily he ain't never been to jail because some of the stuff that he's done, if he did it in another state, like he's in Virginia, so if he did it in another state, he'd have been locked up. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so I just see like firsthand, and that's why when I see these like topics and post about it, and then I start thinking about all the people I like know that got kids that, you know, the moms is raising the kid, and I think this is the main problem. It's the mentality of the mother. See, my mother is hood. My mother's mentality is hood. The hood mentality, raising boys in the urban community, is why these boys is turning out like this, why they extra emotional over certain things, right? So where it could be a small argument, it turns into somebody getting shot, right?
Yep.
And so I think it's the mother, her mentality, the music, the media, all combined, and it's just creating monsters. You feel what I'm saying? So that's why I think, and that's why I say I seen it firsthand with my own little brother. You know what I mean? My baby brother.
Hollywood is doing a good job destroying how a man should be and how a
That's a
man should
fact.
project himself. So we
That's a
also got to
fact.
put a little blame on that too.
But I
I
also said, but I feel like if me being a man raised by a man, total different outcome.
Let me ask you this
Totally.
then, since you mentioned that, okay, you live with your mom and then you went to your dad's house, right? And did mostly raising there. This really for all three of y'all. How do y'all feel about when you let's say as a mom, as a mother, like she raising a boy, and she clearly see this boy is going down the wrong path. He getting in trouble. You could just tell what he's getting into. Like the mom isn't stupid, man. It's probably niggas she done fucked with that had the same characteristic that now you seeing your son falling into, right? Why do you think a lot of the moms, instead of trying to save that son or whatnot, why do you think they don't send their son to go live with the dad? Do you think it's financial? Like it's more important for me to be able to collect a child support check
Nah, son,
versus
look, let me tell you something, fam.
Nah, she's burnt
only
bridges.
being for that boy?
She's
Go ahead,
burnt
Rashad.
bridges. She's burnt bridges with the father pretty much because she's attached her relationship with his father, and she's involved that into and internalized that as a parent. She wasn't wise enough to separate her relationship with his father compared to her parenting and the father's parenting. There is a separation. I tell my kids that all the time. When me and your mother have a falling out, it has nothing to do with me as a parent. And you can't apply that. I tell my daughters, you can't apply what me and your mother is dealing with amongst ourselves to our situation. If I'm dealing with you about something, you don't bring what me and your mother is dealing with on a relationship level into what I'm dealing with you about. So usually women can't separate the two. So that's why she can't reach out to his father. But where's the uncle? Because back in my era, you would reach out to the uncle. If the father wasn't around or he has to do a bid, Nigga, we calling the uncle over. Hey, my mom's gonna say, hey, can you come talk to John this Sunday? Or can you come talk to John Saturday? Can you stop by? Because he's getting out of hand. He's doing a lot of stuff that's out of character. So there's always that male figure that was able to be reached out to and brought around to me or to the niggas in the neighborhood that you dealt with. But it was always women reaching out to the men. Now you don't see that. You don't see that. You don't just have to cleave on to the father to bring structure to that boy. You can bring an uncle or grandfather, or you can bring the oldest brother, even, you know.
I think that play a part too, though. Like, even let's just say there is no grandfather, there's no uncle. Let's just say it's a woman that lives where there's no family members around, right? That's sometimes a possibility. But it also goes to say how important it is for that woman on the type of man that she's dating too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That little boy growing up watching that boy or that man you bringing in the household that you fucking on. You know what I mean? He ain't no role model. He might not have shit going on. He talking stupid. He drunk every day. He high every day. What you talking about, the pants down, man? He could be having his pants like that. He the same thing. You know what I mean? So that little boy see that. I think that's cool. The mom don't got a problem with it, and he mimicking what he see you bring around. You know what I mean? So,
but I think too, like you were saying, the question you asked was, do you think that when they do this, is it about the money, things like that, right?
Mhm.
And honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. I feel like with my mom, as I got older, I realized it was about the money. Because even once I started working in Benz, I think you remember that day.
Yeah.
Remember, I got kicked out because she was trying to get me for my bread for my first check.
That.
You know what I'm saying? And it was like, what? Like, first of all, I know my pops was sending money. You feel what I'm saying? I know she was getting whatever government assistance, whatever. She was also my aunt was giving her money because my cousin was there too, was the same age, was the same age as me. And then my other cousin Glenda, may she rest, her father, may he rest, was giving money too for my mother to babysit her. So she was getting money from all these different places. She was collecting and wanted to collect my money, right? So I just felt like it was about the money, right? Like she knew that she called my father and be like, oh, I need XYZ in the third. But Ben to tell you, once we started working, I was buying my own clothes. She wasn't buying my clothes. I was buying my clothes. You know what I'm saying? I had my own bread for school and all of that, you know? So in some of these cases, some of these women are keeping the kids around because of what they could get and what they're getting. You know what I'm saying? Not all of them is some women too are just being vindictive because they angry or they mad that the man's not with them.
Yeah.
I got family that has gone through that. You know what I mean? I got a cousin, may he rest. His girl tried to take him to child support. She didn't even have a job. She was on unemployment. The judge was like, hold up. Hold up. You just look like you want to collect. Next time you come in this courtroom, I need a list of jobs that you had interviews XYZ in the third. Good thing my cousin had his receipts. You know what I'm saying? But this is the thing, a lot, like, that's the other part too that makes it bad too, because the reason my brother even pulled the knife on me is because my mother manipulated him, and because my mother was always making those calls. You need to talk to your brother. He did, but she wasn't. I learned it was manipulation because she wasn't telling the full side of the story because it happened to me. Because she even, I think I was around 21. And she had some dude she wanted me to meet. And he leaning back on the bed like this. So when I walked in the room, he had his clothes on and everything. But when I walked in the room, the nigga wouldn't stand up and shake my hand. So I'm like, I was raised by my father, so I don't know who this nigga think he is. You don't get up and shake my hand. I was like, I don't want to meet him. And I walked out the room. My mother starts spazzing on me. Oh, you being rude, you being disrespectful, right? But at the time, I was living upstate New York. She was at our cousin's house in the Bronx, so it's like an hour drive. By the time I had my girlfriend and my father's second wife, son with
Mhm.
me. By the time I got back upstate and walked in my father's house, he ripped my head off because my mother made up whatever story, and my father don't play that about being rude and disrespectful to your mother. So he don't play that disrespecting women at all. So when I walked in the door, he threw my head off. You know what I'm saying? But later on, he had to apologize to me because I told him what happened. But he didn't want to listen to me at the time because, you know, a lot of old school parents got that you the child shit in their head. So they don't want to listen to the kids. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely, but like I said, it depends on the parent because my mother, she did a lot of manipulation. She did a lot of bullshit that caused a lot of friction between me and my youngest brother. You know what I'm saying? But he's off the rails till this day. He's off the rails
Mhm.
because he was raised by her.
Mm. Mm.
And no matter what the men was around, she still it's honestly, I truly feel whoever you in that house with the longest, whoever's around you the longest,
Who
that
had the
shit
most
gonna rub.
influence?
Yeah, that's gonna be the biggest influence. You know what I'm saying? It definitely is. And that's why I feel like even like I got a respect for my respect for women didn't even come from my mother. It came from my father.
Mm. Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Because I see how my father treated my grandmother, my aunt, his wives, and even though like he was, but the women he married. You know what I'm saying? It was like it was really them. And I'm not saying that because he's my partner. I'm like I really watched the whole thing unfold. But being
Yeah.
raised by him, being told if you hit your sisters, I'll bust your ass.
Yeah.
You better not hit your sisters.
Hey, I
You
got
know,
I seen this video that was popping up, man. It had all these different clips. And I want y'all to take a look at this, man, and give me y'all opinion out there. And it just shows, with some kids, with some boys, younger, with their mom at a Target. The mom in there stealing, got a gun on her hip, everything, acting a fool, man. And this is what I'm talking
Mm.
about. This kind of an example of what some of these boys are growing up with. And then when they get old enough, they think it's cool to have a gun and wilding out and stealing. Now they got a record. Now he become another statistic. He locked up in jail. Can't get a job. Now he's the man that can't get a job now. You know what I mean? Because of the record. But y'all, man, tell me what y'all think it is.
And this first clip you're about to see, a woman is still out of Target with her children, and she doesn't seem the least bit phased that they're right there watching her do it. She has a gun in this video, so just beware. Let's go ahead and take a look.
Ooh, this lady in here stealing with her kids. Ooh, it's so obvious.
Don't touch that, don't touch it, ma'am. Don't touch it. Don't touch that, ma'am. Don't touch it, my kids. We gotta go to school. Ma'am, don't touch that. Move, ma'am.
Can't walk out here.
You can have that drink in here. Come on, we gotta get back to that. You gotta go home more than you gonna get hurt. My kids gotta go to school. I gotta do what I gotta do for my kids. I don't care if you better go on. Don't keep that in the car. Go ahead and go. I'll keep my kids up and down.
Hey, you can't steal.
You better go on, girl. I don't care about police.
They gonna see your face and you going to jail.
I don't care. Give me this, ma'am. Let it go. Let it go. You better get out of here.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Keep trying to take our stuff.
You better let our stuff go. You better go. You better go, man. You better get off my back.
You going to jail.
You better get off my back. Y'all can have that. I don't give a damn. Y'all can keep that. Come on, let's go now. Hurry up.
You going to jail. I got your face in.
Girl, get off my face, girl. Come on. You better stop. Get the fuck off.
Now, I could have sworn that the Black community was supposed to be boycotting Target, and yet
Go ahead and stop the sharing, man.
Wow.
See what I mean? And you had sons with
Wow.
you, right? And you're there stealing with the gun. Come on, you got to do
Wow.
what you got to do.
You know, I see that, man.
They really didn't want to be involved in that. They were just
Wow.
doing that little boy walking out scared, pushing that cart.
It don't even seem real. I'm questioning myself. Was that an act?
Mm-hmm.
Because the audacity and the boldness. I also feel bad for that woman because it seemed like she's traumatized and she's hurting through relationships that she's had with men presently and in her past.
Man, stop making up excuses for her, bro.
And she don't even know how to. No, it all coincides. She don't even know how to deal with it. So now she's chaotic, right?
Nah, man, fuck that.
That video don't even seem real. It doesn't even make me seem like that's.
I got
She
a
Son,
question.
that
has
shit is
audacity
very
to do
real.
that, right?
It's
I got a
very real.
question.
It's very real. Hold on, bro.
Why-
I got this.
Wait,
Hold
I
on,
just
bro.
wanted to say, I just got a question. Why she ain't sell a gun to buy this stuff?
Facts. Facts. Hey, let me. I'm gonna touch on that shit too. Hey, real quick. A reflection. That shit is very real, and I think that the problem with it is that like your opinion, like not your opinion, but your response is, and I'm not saying that it's the problem, but I'm saying like it's the problem, and what I mean by that is we don't like to face the man in the mirror. As a community, we don't like to like hear the truth about the problems going on in our community. Yes, that shit is fucking true. There are people out there. What you saw was real and what's happening, and that's not the only video out there, fam. That's how some people are. Now, what happens is this: if this little homie, right, if he grew up and he grew up foul, niggas are gonna be like, "Yo, where the dad at?" It don't matter where the fuck the dad at. It's like I said, where the mom at? The mom, this is what the mom is doing. We just saw where the mom is at, right? So when it's just like this, fam, when the assistant manager, if you in a business or if you in a job, right? When the assistant manager, or rather when the manager goes down or when the manager's not there, who's next in charge? So when the dad is not there, the father's not in the picture, who is next in charge? If that's what the fuck you doing, and we already talked about how today's parents is more focused on being their kids' friends more than being a parent. If that's what it is, when the dad steps the fuck out the picture, what the fuck is the mom doing? When are we gonna start blaming?
But the mom, it only matters. It only matters if the mother properly partnered with the father.
What?
If she didn't properly partner with the father, establishing the leadership in that home amongst those kids, then when the dad makes his exit, there's failure because there is no foundation that she's partnered with the father before he left.
Hey, yo, look.
So that's what they're doing.
Look,
But I don't even think it's that the
It's a
father
ripple
has to
effect.
leave. I think as long as the man don't have to live there to be an influencer.
I didn't say he has to live there. I didn't say he has to live there, but her communication must be properly connected with him to establish leadership.
But
leadership is the failure of boys today that grow into men. It's the failed leadership that they had. And the mother can't instill leadership in boys. She can't instill leadership in a man.
Yo,
she
yes,
can't. It's impossible. She can give him guidance. She can give him guidance, but she can't lead him. It's not in her DNA to do it.
The little boy didn't steal. The mama stole. What her leadership?
That's her leadership. So it's failed leadership.
But that's what we say. So that's what we're saying that. But this is what I'm saying.
So her
this
partnership,
is why I say it goes back to the hood.
With her
it goes
partner.
back to the hood mentality.
But she didn't have that child by herself. That's male DNA that you saw in that store with her. That's male DNA. That's a failed situation.
No, it's not. No, and the reason why I say it's not is because I personally look, fam. I personally know women who are not like that, who is on it where on Father's Day, I'm like, Happy Father's Day to a woman.
I never do that.
You see what I'm saying? Like, because and the reason why I say that is because in that woman's situation, the woman that I know that we're talking about, as far as the situation is concerned, that woman that I know, they didn't let no absent father or a man not being in the picture not deter them from doing what they were supposed to do as a mother. So in that situation, no one can say, but where's the father? If anything, the mom.
I'm not saying where's the father. I'm saying
not
where's the
saying that's
leadership
what
that
you're
was
saying.
instilled?
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. That's what you're saying. What I'm saying is this, bro. You can't say that no woman is capable of raising a man and she's not built like certain things, because I know women. I've met women that are more built like men than men. I know personally, bro.
That still doesn't make the process right. It's the matrix
what's
is
right
still off. The
Look,
matrix is still off.
Hey, yo, look. Let me tell you something, son. Look, let me just say this.
If your girl had an appointment to get a pap smear by another female, what would happen when she go to that appointment and that female that was registered to give her that pap smear wasn't available, and now a male walks in the room? What would be her response?
I don't know what the fuck would be her response. Like,
I'm saying the matrix
how
is
is this
off.
even relevant?
Even if a woman is capable of leading, that's not her role. That's what I'm saying. It's not a woman's role. Everybody is delegated to do something. The woman is delegated to carry the child, not the man.
Listen, fam. Listen.
The woman is delegated to carry the child. The man is delegated to raise in leadership with that child.
I get your
point. The house, the home. The matrix is off.
I get your point, fam. But listen to what I'm telling you. The point is this, bro. Sometimes life puts you in a position where now you have to take on that role. I get your point, bro. But sometimes, this might not be a woman's role. This might not be a man's role. But sometimes you might be put in a situation where, guess what? This is your fucking role now. So what are you gonna do? You gonna
use your resources as a woman,
or you gonna lay the fuck down? And
as a female, as a queen.
But that's why I do not. Yo, bro, hold on. That's why I don't make up no excuses, nigga. Your role is whatever life deals you. That's what it is. I jumped off the porch at 14 years old, my nigga. I had both parents in the house. What the fuck is my parents' excuse? What's my situation excuse?
Only you would know that.
I was bugging the fuck out. I was bugging out with the dad in the house. And my mom's just whipping my ass.
So do you feel your father did this?
You can't. Look, you can't. What I'm saying is this, bro. I don't want to hear that shit about a dad was not there, so you can't shift blame on certain people. And you have to blame certain people for certain things. If you're there, then what the fuck did you do while you were there? That's the bottom fucking line. I don't want to
when my daughter
again. Some women are built better suited to be both parents than some dads. It's like this. It's like I always say, bro. All kids need parents, right? Not all parents need kids. You know what I'm saying? Every parent ain't built for that shit. Every parent ain't built for that.
I'm barring that.
Every kid needs a parent, but all parents don't need kids, my nigga. Like some parents wasn't built for that shit, my nigga. And some dudes wasn't built for that. I know women, I'm not reiterated. I know women that were more better suited to be the dad than the actual fucking dad, my nigga. That's all I'm trying to say.
But it's still no excuse.
Hold on. Don't tell me that some women ain't built for certain shit. Maybe you ain't come across them, but I have. I know them personally, my nigga.
No, I didn't say that according to their actions. I said that according to the way it was established and arranged. She's birthing a child for 9 months. That puts her in a sensitive cubicle. The man is the one that's supposed to make sure he's there to establish foundation, financially,
what it is
socially, everything.
Reflection.
When my
on gender roles. That's what he's focused on.
Yeah.
You're focused on gender roles.
Yeah.
I'm focused on the way the foundation was established.
Yeah,
the male is the male is the leader. The male is the leader. And you can't keep it out because that means it's off.
No, you got to get that out of your head. Don't worry about the establishment, because look, we already know. Look, everything that you taught, right? Everything that you know that you're telling me right now, where did you learn that from? You learned that from somebody else, right? This is how.
No, I learned that observing other niggas being raised by their mother.
Okay, so that's what you was taught. That's not your truth. What I'm saying is this, fam. That's not your truth. What you learn is somebody, you learned it from either observing or being around it. So what you absorb somebody else's truth. What about your truth? So what I'm trying to explain to you is this, fam. Don't worry about the establishment. And I'll put that in quotes. That's what we were taught. Whether we observed it, whether we was around it, that's somebody else's truth.
It was there because it's
put
healthy.
in that situation, all that shit is out the fucking window now.
No,
what
no,
you
it's
gonna
not
do
when it's
about it
healthy.
in the moment.
No, the establishment is healthy for raising kids.
No,
You
it's
can't
not.
you can't remove one or the other and expect a healthy lifestyle. So what are y'all talking about? It has to be established that way to raise a healthy family. You can't remove
That shit don't
a
work for
mom.
everybody. Everything
You
isn't for
can't remove
everybody.
the mother. You can't remove the mother and expect a healthy relationship, just like you can't remove the father. It doesn't work unless they're united together in raising that family.
That
that's
work
not
for
true
everybody
because
though, man.
I turned out quite all right, and I was me and my younger sister because we don't have the same mother. Me and
But
my
you
younger,
glorified your father.
we was raised by my father,
Right. You glorified the impact he made on your
right?
life
But
and a
my
lot of
sister too.
important decisions.
My sister was raised by my father too. So and she turned out quite all right, got degrees, you know what I'm saying? Like she only has one child that she just had in her 30s. You know what I mean? So, like, but also too, now here's the other thing, and Benz knows this too. My sister from my mother's side, if you see her, she's married, she's only had kids with her husband. She broke the curse, right? So my sister didn't turn out nothing like my mother at all. She could have went left. She could have went all the way left. You know what I'm saying? But she turned out, she's married to the same man she got kids with, she married to. They met in college, they've been together, they had a little moment, and then they got back together. They a happy couple. They're a happy couple, been together for years. You know what I'm saying? So I also seen it's like this. This is what happens when you have a parent, when these kids is raised by somebody that's kind of unfit, right? Like these unfit mothers out here listening to Glorilla and all types of shit, whatever, right? What happens in the kid's head is that the kid sees how the mom is moving or the pops is moving, and then they say to themselves, either they're gonna follow the same path or they're gonna go the whole other direction. Because I even know people that both parents was there and they still ended up doing some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Ended up in gangs or whatever. So it's really like Legend said, it really just boils down to the individual and what they see.
The healthiness of a household has to be unified. There has to be unification. That it has to be. When my 11-year-old child started her period, as much as a dominant father as I am, and as involved as I am, I knew to hand that over to the mother. And if the mother wasn't available, to hand that over at school to one of the female teachers concerning her period. Don't know when it's going to come. When it does come, blase, tampons, whatever. But I handed that sensitive situation over to a female because I understood my role. It don't matter if I'm qualified to handle it. I want to keep the structure there. I want to keep the foundation there because it's healthier. Because it's healthier for her. Not for me, it's healthier for her.
We're not disagreeing with what you're saying, Reflection. I think what it is we're talking about, with the topic of the single mother raising a kid is what we're talking about. Not the structure, not the man being there, not
right.
It coincides because the woman is not leaning. It coincides because the woman is not leaning towards the man to help her. She got this I got it syndrome. She's got this
we know
nigga, leave
that.
me alone, I got it.
We know
She
that.
got this,
But
huh?
some women don't want to live by that. We know that. We know that's
The
right
majority
thing.
of the women today has made and created this oath that they're going to show us how much they don't need us. And that's in every way. They don't need us sexually. We all know that, because that's why a lot of these women are walking around here single as fuck. Single as fuck, because that's their oath to prove to us that they don't need us. And then it's a ripple effect from there.
But
So that's what I'm referring to. Everything coincides with the separation.
I can't say that all women think like that, though.
Now, a good, I would say a good 80%.
To me, like I said, I think it's just the hood mentality. To be honest with you, because
you're right, real. It is kind of like a little hood mentality, man. I want to get back on this other video. Now, this video is a short, and it's just going to show it's actually a little girl when it comes to authority, how young she is and how she's already comfortable talking to authority. I could tell this ain't her first time talking like that. She got it from somewhere. I know you probably didn't watch your mama act like that too. You picked it up from somewhere, and that your mom doesn't even check you, and you still talking to authority. And she let the little girl just go on running her mouth. This is also a problem.
Yeah, let's see this shit, man.
Our daughter completely flips out in public. Let's go ahead and take a look.
TV gave a description of a female black with long braids with the white.
I think you went back to the store.
What classes did I steal from Montclair?
Mommy, I know who it was.
What classes did I steal? Thank you.
Stop recording it now. You should not be recording it without our permission.
For my safety. Thank you.
My aunt stole glasses. It wasn't her. Do she have a fucking white t-shirt on? No.
Yo.
Leave my mother alone.
I don't have nothing though. This is crazy.
Oh, my grandfather. You know, I had nothing.
Now, in this video, the mother claims she wasn't.
Now that little girl got to be probably what, all of 7 years old? What you think she gonna be like at 13, 16,
right,
18? And then when she at the age of dating, getting a man, you're not gonna be able to control her. She out of control right now talking.
Right. Hey, the man's that she gonna be trying to get when she that age gonna be dating white women. I'm gonna just say that right now. I'm gonna tell you, hey, little homegirl, you watching this podcast? The little homies that you chasing gonna be trying to date white chicks, man. That's why, you know what I mean. But whatever, man. That shit crazy. Hey, hey, yo, but look, real shit, man. What it is that this, man. The problem with, and I'm gonna stay on topic of the matter at hand is this: we don't take enough accountability in our community, and that's just what it is. That's what it all comes down to, fam. When every time it's like this, I look at like this. I've seen videos and photos of like NBA YoungBoy, right? His mom, or YMB Melly, or whatever the fuck that little nigga name was that got murked or whatever.
Blueface mother.
And the other dude, what's the nigga from Chicago? That had smoke with Dirk and what a FBG Duck. When you watch these people's, when you watch your son, my mom would never, I promise you, my nigga, my mom, no matter what I'm out there doing, my mom would never jump her ass online and get on some shit and make videos and shit like that, like the way moms are today. And we talking about queens and raising, you know what I'm saying, criminals or whatever. FBG Doug, the nigga, I seen enough footage of his mom. She's basically sanctioning his fuckery. You see what I'm saying? And a lot of these young dudes, like the NBA young boys and whatever the fuck these niggas' initials be in whatever city they come from, they parents, the moms in them, again, I don't want to hear about the dad not being there, because imagine if the dad was there. If the mom is like that, imagine if the dad was there. So, all right, the dad is not there, the mom is there. We talking about these queens, right? So what like that's the kind of, these are the queens that they're talking about we need to protect these days. And that's why, like I said the other day, bro, like I don't ever want to hear no shit about no dudes not being there in their parents, I mean in a kid's life, because the custodial parent, once the dad leave, if that's the case, because it's not always the fact that the dad leave. If the mom be on some, I'm teaching my kid how to hate their dad, because that does happen.
Right.
And she chooses to keep the dad out of the picture. That's what you're doing with your kid. So when we hear about your kid on the news or some shit like that, we gonna be like, where's the dad? Don't mean that nigga walked away. What
Right.
is the mom
Okay,
doing?
so let me ask you a question.
Matter of fact, I got
What-
a perfect example.
What's that?
My boy, he just passed away. He passed away not this Monday, the Monday before. 50 years old. And him and his wife, I hooked them up. I got them together. They've been together. He had a son already. And then they had 2 kids after that. And his youngest son is a teenager. So now it's going to be a situation. Yeah, he got uncles, right? And he got me. I'm considered an uncle too. But now it's a situation where she going to have to raise this boy, right, for the rest of his teenage years on his own. And what happened is my boy got dementia. So he's had dementia since 2018, 2019, and now it's 2025. So pretty much his parenting stopped in 2018, right? Because mentally he's not mentally there to be a parent. You know what I'm saying? So she's literally raising this boy from that, So it can be a situation where the father didn't leave. I mean, he left, but he didn't leave. You feel what I'm saying? And now she has to take on this job because she was a stand-up woman, right? And that's probably what her son seen. Foundation. My mother stuck with my father till he was gone, right? Which may make him look at things a certain way. But she still has this job of raising him until he becomes a man. You know what I'm saying? So that's that, like Legend said, Ben said, he may not have left. It may be circumstances why this man ain't here no more. Also, too, it could be. It ain't even got to be her parenting, because she's a God-fearing woman. She's even when my boy got with her, I had to tell my boy, like, yo, I'm telling you right now, and me and him running the streets. I told him, like, yo, bro, it's over. You get with her, because I hooked him up. I said, yo, you get with her. It's over, bro, because that's sis, and she's a God-fearing woman. Her father was a pastor, man. He was a pastor. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, you get with her, but honestly, he must have saw the future, because a lot of these women, where he went through, they would have left long time ago. They would have left as soon as he got diagnosed. You know what I'm saying? But that's the thing. Now she got to raise this boy till he's a man. And honestly, I don't see her jumping into another relationship no time soon. Because she really loved her husband.
Women are raising their sons with oversaturated love. That's it. Women are failing. Get back on topic. Women are failing at raising boys, raising men.
I can't say all women
because
are.
they don't have the proper delegation of leadership and discipline. Women don't want to discipline the way the man does.
That's not true. Neither.
That's why they want to be partners. That's why they want to be friends. It's a conflict of interest to be friends. Okay, so let me ask you an honest question. How many times have you heard a woman say, I don't want to do him the way my mom and my dad did, or the way my dad did me? Why do you think they say that?
What?
That's wrong.
I ain't never heard
do
that.
to them the way my dad did me, the way my
I don't know if
dad
I heard
took
that
me,
one.
or the way my dad disciplined me. I don't want to do
I've
that
only
to
heard
them.
that. I've only heard that when somebody's been abused.
No,
Not
no, it's been crossed over into used as abuse. See, you just proved my point. When people, the first time you hear the word discipline, you automatically think abuse. When people hear the
no,
word
I didn't
discipline today,
say.
you automatically
That's not
think
what I
abuse.
said. That's not what I said. You put
You
words
brought
in
up
my mouth.
abuse. You
I
brought up
said
abuse.
no. I said I never heard that or for people being disciplined. I've only heard that when people were discipline and abuse is two different things. I said I've only heard people say that if they were abused, not disciplined.
Okay, so what would be your reaction if the cops pulled up to your house and told you the son that's in your house was just part of a drive-by? What would be your reaction compared to what would be your wife or your spouse or a female's reaction? Do you think it'd be different or be the same?
You know why I'm gonna tell you be the same as mine? Because where's Ben's at? Matter of fact, where's Ben's at? Because I'm gonna tell y'all some real shit. Where's Ben's at? He know. My cousin, she's like, first of all, my cousin is like my sister. We were born the same year. We first cousins, we close. So that's like my sister. Her son is like my nephew, right? He even calls me Uncle Cousin, right? When he did some bullshit, when he got locked up, I spoke to her on the phone. She said that's what his ass get. You know why she said that? She raised him. She had him in Jesuit, the high school, the private school.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
Right.
had him in Jesuit. He graduated, and he got a scholarship or something to UNLV. And then he dropped out of UNLV, and he went back to SAC, acted up, and he got locked up. She didn't speak to him for like the first few years he was in there, because she was like, "That's what he get." I ain't raised him to do that shit.
But what was the disciplinary action? That's what separates a
And no,
woman's
you asked
ability.
what. So I'm telling you,
Right, you're
even
right. So
me.
that was your response. So you know
So that would have been
what
if my child, if I'm with a certain woman, and we got the same morals and values and views, and my son go do some bullshit, she gonna be sitting there the same way I'm gonna be sitting there. That woman, she gonna know that I'm already gonna be like, because honestly, by the time we have a kid, she's gonna already know how I am as a man. So at the end of the day, I'm gonna be like, what? And she gonna be like, what my husband said. Lock his ass up. He did a drive-by, take him to jail.
Hey,
You understand?
look, hey, and it's like I said, and look, we got Christy C, right? Christy C, she said it's the generation of parents. That's the bottom line. I'm not even concerned with whatever else she said. That's like the bottom line, my G's. It's like I said earlier this week, my moms grew up on Marvin Gaye. She wasn't listening to no Sexy Fucking Red. You know what I'm saying? Like, she wasn't influenced by what's going on today, man.
That's
Like,
why I said it's the
my
hood
mom
mentality.
raised me like she was listening to you know what I'm saying, Marvin Gaye and the music that we grew up. My mom's the generation, like we said, man, like today's black queens, because back in my mom's generation, there was no black queens. You know what I'm saying? All that shit is just some shit that we made up after that generation or wherever the fuck, whatever year that shit came out of. I don't give a fuck about no black queens. I'm not trying to hit none of that shit. Every black woman is not no motherfucking queen. So
That's a fact.
I don't believe in all that protect the queens and all that bullshit these niggas be, you know what I'm saying, falling for that. That shit propaganda to that nigga L. You know what I'm saying? Ask L, that shit propaganda. But anyway, before I digress, man, I feel like, yeah, man, like to getting back on topic is, yeah, the queens is definitely raising crooks. You know what I'm saying? It's like I call them hip-hop moms. I call them hip-hop moms, man. And this ain't got nothing to do with whether the dad is in the picture or not. You know what I'm saying? The mom is, this is what it is. Like I said, you be seeing these chicks up in the videos twerking with their babies in the background, and the baby like, what in the fuck is you doing? You know what I'm saying? And doing all kind of wild shit. And we saw the picture, we saw the video right now where the mom is bugging the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? And the kids, matter of fact, yeah, the mom bugging the fuck out. Her kid looked lost. You know what I'm saying? So what do you think the kid gonna pick that shit up from? Now let's just say,
but like I said, it could go the other direction too. He could be like, yo, my mother is bugged out. I don't want this life.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's all on the mom. Where you think he's getting it from? Now let's just say, God forbid, right? God forbid this nigga went on and became a career criminal. Where the fuck did he get that shit from? We have to rewind back time and be like, yo, remember that footage when that nigga was chilling and his mom was like, you know what I'm saying? His mom was bugging the fuck out. Yeah, she was the one she was the crook in the whole fucking video. Her son had nothing to do with that shit. Right. But that's where he got it from. And again, man, like, and I think like this, fam. I say this again. We don't like to hear the truth about ourselves. Well, the first thing black people do, is reflect. We deflect the shit. We shift blame. You see what I'm saying? When niggas be like, yo, typical nigga behavior, right? What's the first thing niggas gonna say? Niggas gonna be like, well, white people do it too. Well, we ain't the only race. Stop deflecting this shit. We're not talking about what every other race. I don't give a fuck what every other race is doing. I don't care what white people do. I'm talking about what our community do. So when what happens is when we hear about our own shit, we like, but what about when the white girl did this? Why everybody talking about it when black people do it? Stop deflecting fucking blame, man. Stop shifting the blame. Be accountable for what's going on. And
I mean, this is on off topic, but like, because even I think about this all the time. It's one of the things I think about. The hood, right? Like when you go to the projects, when you go to certain black areas, black hoods or whatever. Why is it always looking fucked up? Right? And then we can't blame it on, right? Like we can't it's white people and they coming and dumping the garbage in our neighborhood. Nah, we fuck up our own neighborhoods. The projects, with the pissy staircase is pissy. White people ain't coming in the staircase and pissing in the staircase.
Facts. Facts.
They ain't coming in the elevator, pissing in the elevator.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like all this stuff that goes on in the hood. And then the crazy part about it though, because even in some of these projects is where it's a lot of single mothers, right? Because a man can't be there, or they can't get assistance. They can't get the rent, you know, the free whatever rent they paying. Because if a man is there, they're gonna hike the rent up, right? So in these hoods, that all plays a part, because if it's mostly single women in the hoods raising these kids, and the man can't be there, and he's somewhere else, right? Then the hood is looking fucked up. Because why? Because now these kids, they don't give a fuck they don't care about the hood. So now they got whatever they got, and then whatever garbage, they just like everything that goes on in the hood is just a domino effect of really what we dealing with. Because like you said, the music they listening to, they want to act hood, they want to be ratchet, right? And they glorify the ratchet shit. They glorify that shit. If we had, what's crazy? If we had more women that was on a MC Lyte, Queen Latifah type vibe than a Little Kim and Foxy, it may be a different look out here. You know what I'm saying? It may be a different look.
I was just saying the same shit, bro. But I wasn't even thinking about the rap shit, bro. I was thinking like this, fam. Because black fatigue is real. You know what I'm saying? And when I say black fatigue is real, I mean even amongst black people. You know what I'm saying? Like decent black folk is tired of ghetto ratchet ass niggas. You know what I'm saying? They be fucking up for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like I get tired of like I cruise every year, bro. I get tired of seeing niggas being the only motherfuckers on the cruise brawling.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
In
Like
the
why
on
is
the
it
cruise.
only niggas brawling on cruises? And I'm not saying white people don't be brawling, but when I'm talking about cruises, y'all niggas is the ones up there brawling. I'm not saying white people don't brawl, but look, I could easily say, because we're not talking about white people, right? We talking about our own shit, right? I could easily say, yo, when you watch footage of sporting events, football games, right? It's only white people brawling. It's only white people. You rarely ever see niggas brawling over sports teams. Rarely. But we're not talking about that. We just talking about, yo, every time we turn around and we like, yo, typical nigga shit. Yes, black fatigue is real and we tired of you niggas too. It ain't just white people. So don't get on white people and be like, yo, you white. You can't speak on white topics. I'm gonna say this again. Look at the man or woman or whatever the fuck it is in the mirror. You gotta hold yourself accountable. Don't sit there and deflect and talk about, well, white people be fighting it. We're not talking about white people fighting at the games. We talking about how niggas act, and that's just what it is, man.
I'll just put it to you like
Niggas
this.
need to be fucking more accountable for what they do, man.
There's no footage. There's no footage of Asian, Indian, Latin, white, anything else on no cruise, airports, wilding out.
Anywhere in public.
Or right.
Anywhere in public.
Right. There's no foot there, and don't get me wrong. Now there are some but even when you see, even you know what's so crazy is that even when you see the footage and it is white people, it's white people that white people would consider trailer trash.
Yeah. That's wild.
You know what I'm saying?
My opinion, at the end of the day, I don't support a woman seeking to raise a son by herself. And it don't have nothing to do with the father. It has something to do with male figures. No woman should be trying to raise a son by herself. So if she has to reach out to the church, to males in the church, since she's supposed to be a queen, she should use her wisdom to say, my son needs some male guidance.
And I'm not saying that. Listen, nobody is disagreeing with you, but we live in a day and age where that may not always be the case. And I also understand what Legend is saying when he's saying that there are women out there that had to do what they had to do, right? Because
the only time you have to do what you have to do when you fully know there's no other options. And I have to emphasize that because a lot of people use that do what I have to do so much and it's so saturated. Now it's become an excuse because they fail to seek out other options. There has to be other options. So the father not being there is the only option you had to seek out male guidance outside of yourself as a woman. You don't have a brother. You don't have brothers. You don't have.
Some people don't. Some people don't have brothers. But if
every black woman goes. Every black woman goes to church that I know. I'm talking about prostitutes, hoes. They go to church on Sundays. I know that for a fact. I know a lot of black women. No matter their lifestyle, they go to church. So there's no male figures that you can't. What women have to understand is when you have a boy, it's imperative that you understand the importance of making sure that boy is raised with male structure. And if you haven't sought out that, I don't want to hear I had to raise them.
But
I don't
you
want
here's
that.
what you know what, but
The
reflection.
only
Here's the other
care,
thing.
the only
But here's the
care.
other thing. Here's the other thing you got to understand too. It's not for the woman. First of all, this is another thing that you got because let's just say for example, a woman reaches out to you. What if the kid don't like you? That ain't gonna help nothing. So
He
you
don't have to like me. So
so
she
you can't. So that could also be damaging too. That could be just
now
as
check it.
bad.
Check me what she does. Just like nobody likes the coach, but they have to listen to win the
Nah,
game.
most kids like their coach. If they
That's a
don't
lot
like
of
the
okay.
coach, if
Okay,
they don't like the coach, they ain't on the team.
what about the substitute? What about the substitute teacher? Nobody likes a substitute teacher for the most part.
It depends.
You're gonna get spitballs thrown at you, paper planes thrown at you for the most part.
It
The
depends.
thing is, you establish that. So the mother says, "I'm not bringing you around this qualified male figure to like him. He's not trying to be step in your father's shoes. He's not trying to be in my life, but I'm gonna be here with you and assist you while he tries to adhere and educate you on how you need to conduct yourself. Because the route you're going, it's not going to last that long. You're not going to go far. The mother doesn't have
that
to
could be
exit herself. She can be there. If
that
the
could be
son
just as
doesn't like this
damaging.
dude, huh?
That's not true because if he doesn't like the dude, you're forgetting. I don't know what. Well, first of all, you wasn't a rebellious teenager because you like you said you started late. But what I'm saying is, I know if I didn't like somebody, there was nothing that person could tell me.
So how many times did you come home from school and you didn't like your particular teacher and your parents said, I know you don't like her, or I know you don't like him, but please, in order for you to get past this grade, try to figure it out. I was told that. Try to work it out. When my kids come to me and say, Dad, I'm having an issue with one of my teachers, I tell them right now at this point, there's nothing you can do about that because that's your assigned teacher. But please accept the education they're giving you.
No.
Just figure it out.
It was bottom
There's too
line
many
behaving.
excuses.
It was bottom line behaving school. Period. Or I'ma bust your ass. That's what it was. It wasn't no. It was behave your ass in school. Period. I'm gonna bust your shit when you get home. That's what.
Basically, that's what
It didn't matter what teacher it was. You go to school.
So it
you do what
doesn't
they tell
matter.
you to do.
Right. So you just proved my point.
But what I'm saying is, if my mother, just like she tried to introduce me to that dude, and I was like, fuck this nigga, right? If you cannot force, and I was 21 at the time.
She
but
failed. So you proved the panel point. She failed.
You can't bring just any. A matter of fact, you know what's crazy? I learned respect because I was raised by a man, by my father. You understand? But I promise you, if I didn't like somebody, there was nothing they could tell me. And sometimes that's more damaging because now if that mother is forcing this person on this child, that child is going to be like, fuck out of here.
Okay, so check this out. You know why that encounter you had with that man failed? Because that woman didn't prep that man when she knew the importance of you meeting him. She should have said, hey, when you meet him, please, such and such.
As a man,
he failed to do that because that's one reason why he didn't stand up. He didn't stand up.
It's respect. At the end of the day,
respect.
Right.
She should have pulled him aside.
Yeah.
There's nobody's going to meet my kids.
If she decided, let's just say she decided to marry that man, I would never respect him. You know why? Because the nigga didn't respect me from day one. And my mother, he's a man. And he was older than my mother. She shouldn't have to tell him nothing.
But she should have did you a favor. But that wasn't her place was to make sure that you was taken care of in that fashion. It didn't matter what her establishment was with him. She should have made sure.
But that's what I'm saying. It's still, as a man, he's supposed to stand up And yo, if he got any, and that just told me he don't got respect for her neither. Because if he did, he would have stood up and shook my hand like a man. I drove there on my own. I had my own car at that time. I didn't. Nobody brought me there. I drove there on my own. Listen, I'm a man. You gotta respect me. You know what I'm saying? But
growing
you
up,
put somebody.
and this,
My mother.
this is
From that day on, my mother has never introduced me to no men that she ever dealt with. Because you know why? Because I don't play no games. Because I was raised by my father. You understand? Some of these dudes, my brothers, I got 2 brothers from, so my mother got 4 kids total. 2 of my, we all got different fathers too. 2 of my brothers, they told me sometimes these dudes be looking for my mother and they calling my brother's phones. You think them niggas called my phone? You think my mother knew? But why she knew? Because my father raised me. I don't play with you. I'm not playing with you. You feel what I'm saying?
okay. Something. So I'm gonna ask
Well,
y'all.
let me ask you something, Reflection.
Huh?
Hey, let me ask you something. I ain't trying to cut y'all niggas off, but listen, real quick. Hey, Christy C. She said Reflection, and Ben's highlighted this shit, right? She said rather they need guidance or not. Most men, because this is like, this touches on some shit you said. Most men barely, because you was like, they gotta have an uncle or whatever, have not, like some random ass person,
Some type of male figure.
Rather they need guidance or not, most these men barely can be a role model for themselves. You can read the rest of the comment.
That's
yourself.
a fact.
You can read
That's a
the rest
fact.
of the comment yourself, but that right there, what do you have to say for that shit right there? Because that is super fucking facts right there, my nigga. Like, men definitely can't even be a role model for themselves. So when you sit up there and you make a comment like, yo, what about these random ass niggas? Explain that to me.
So for her to say most, for her to use that's a powerful word for her to say most.
Okay.
So I would like to ask her, what male figures did she grow up around and did she grow up with? What was her father like? What was her brothers like?
You know the other shit you got worried about?
Okay, but look, bitch, you still
because
but look, the fact still remains. Most of these men barely can be a role model for themselves. Now listen, I'm gonna piggyback off of what she said, right? I saw a video, there was a nigga, right? Nigga up in a barbershop. He getting at, I guess, like, he was a baby daddy. Matter of fact, I'm not guessing, he was. He was a baby dad, and he ran up in the barbershop on another nigga. The other dude was with said baby dad's son, paying and getting a nigga haircut. But because you wasn't you the baby daddy, you not in the picture. You see what I'm saying? You barely been a role model for yourself. How the fuck you gonna be a role model for your own son? So when this nigga trying to take your son to go get a haircut, he at the barbershop, why you running down on this nigga? You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not even a role model to yourself. How the fuck you been a role model to your own dad? So that's the question that she's trying to ask. So I'm like, well, how the fuck you explain that when you're the one that sit up here? And I'm not pointing a finger at you, but I'm saying you made a comment earlier about, yo, if it ain't me, it got to be some other a male figure. And you also said, which I wanted to touch on, was this. When it came to female shit, and I told you before, fam, I know I got a homie who got 3 daughters, grown, from teenage to grown daughters, bro. And he's doing it just fine. So you can't say when it come time for them to start bleeding and they had a period, oh shit, I'm gonna pawn you off to your teacher. So that means that
legend.
Hold on, fam. Hold on. I got you, fam. I got you. The point is this. I say that to say this. Don't depend on no random ass person, because the teachers that you're talking about, that you're like, yo, when it came down to this, I'm not qualified as a dad because this is a female issue. Man the fuck up. It's your job. you're gonna have to learn shit that you didn't think that you would have to learn. You never predicted that you would be in a situation where the mom wasn't going to be around for you to have to take on that responsibility. So with that being said, don't point it off to the female teacher. Now you got to be mommy for the day and get your learn on and learn about the female anatomy instead of trying to
but
so that's
surviving
in reverse.
Surviving a situation is not a win. You're talking about women who survived a situation.
No, I'm
that
not.
That wasn't their desire. When a woman has a son, if you ask any woman in her right mind that lays down with a man and has a son, it's not her desire to survive that situation without the man.
That's not what I'm saying.
That's not her desire. So if she does have to play the role as a single mother, she's surviving. I don't want to survive the situation.
That's not what I'm saying.
That's what a lot of women are doing. They're only achieving it because they had no other option but to survive that single lifestyle in raising that boy, and that's not a healthy foundation.
But it's
that's what I would say to her. That's what I would say to her. A lot of niggas can't be role models to anybody else and to themselves because they're in a non-survival situation.
Hey, Stephanie said them teachers don't care, and that's the truth. And that's why I'm telling you, as a man, say you had 3 daughters, bro. If you had 3 daughters and it was all 1 year apart, that means your slot is full. You got your work cut off for you, my nigga, right? So rather than you step up and be like, yo, it's time to learn something, and for me to step my game up as a dad and me, you know what I'm saying? Like, because my daughters need me, right? The teachers that, like Stephanie said, that don't care, you're gonna point your daughters off.
I got an answer for Stephanie.
Give a fuck, but you gotta step your shit up, my nigga. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Okay, so my answer to Stephanie is when you go to church, you know that pastor is fucking just like you're fucking. You know that pastor is snorting coke, smoking weed, and cigarettes just like you're doing it, right? But when that pastor's behind the pulpit, you're listening to every fucking thing he's saying. Everything. Because you're smart enough to designate the word of God from the actual person. So you're not fucking smart enough to designate the education that's coming from the foolish teacher.
What?
That's what I'm saying. Use your heads. You don't have to respect and love the teacher that don't give a fuck about you. But as long as they tell you 1 + 1 is 2, go home with that education. Fuck the teacher.
But what we saying is this, bro. We already know 1 and 1 is 2. We already know all of that shit. But when you sit up there and say that women,
she said the teacher don't care. Okay, she don't care, but it's what she's teaching. Take that. That's why you're at
she's
school.
saying that she don't care, meaning like first of all, these teachers is overworked anyway. These teachers is like these classrooms is overfilled and they don't.
But are they failing those kids? Are those kids failing those grades?
In certain schools, they are. In certain schools, these kids is wilding.
Okay, so those certain schools,
the teachers don't have they don't even have enough time or energy to deal with just one single student and what they got going on.
It's only so many times. So I'm not gonna. If my kid is failing, I'm removing him or her out of that school.
But here's my thing, though. Another reason why you can't just put your kids off, why women can't just put their kids off on anybody. You don't even know who.
I didn't say just anybody.
But
I talked about the church, the brothers, uncles.
So it don't matter. But yeah, there's some bad seeds in the church. There's this nigga in there might be a pedophile.
Right.
I just called the pastor out for his personal. I said separate that from them.
So your kids have to choose. You can bring people around, but your kids are gonna choose who they idolize. Your kids are gonna choose who influenced them. Your kids are you could bring Joe Schmo, you could bring Johnny, you could bring Tommy, Anthony, Victor, you could bring all of them. Your kid is going to choose out of those people who they connect with.
Yeah.
They don't care. A kid ain't just going. You know why I got. You know why I got 6 god kids. You know why I got 6 god kids? Because the kids gravitated towards me. Uncle, all my friends. Matter of fact, just about I would say all my friends' kids call me Uncle Rel. Not and I can tell you right now, some of our other male friends or some of they don't call them that. They don't call this one uncle, that one uncle. They these kids almost look at me like I'm their damn uncle. For real.
You know
But
what
the
my
kids,
father told
but
me?
the kids chose me. That I
You,
didn't
you know what my dad told me? Since y'all talking about you can't bring your kids around just anybody, and you can't and that was not what I was pushing. I was pushing you should, as a parent, should know who you're bringing your kid around. So that dispels that. But anyway, my father told me, he said one thing about a drunkard. He might be drunk, but he's going to always tell the truth. As a kid, I understood that. And as I grew up, to this day, when I'm around drunk people or I meet a drunkard or a bum that's drinking, I sit there and I let it saturate what they're saying. Because 99.9% of the time, even though I wouldn't allow them around me on a good day or any given Sunday, I would definitely allow what they're saying around me. I would definitely take the wisdom that they're spewing out of their mouth around me. Disconnect the good from the bad and grow from it. Utilize it. When you're going to school, utilize it. If your mother designates you around a male figure that she trusts, and she has to be present because her job is to make sure as a son, you're getting male structure, utilize the wisdom. You don't have to like who it's coming from
you keep
to
forgetting,
utilize it.
Yeah, but you talking from a perspective of a 50-something-year-old man. Do you forget how rebellious some kids are?
Lack
Are
of
you forgetting
discipline.
that? Like
Lack of discipline. When the
it don't
church
have
got
nothing to
pulled
do
out of
with lack
school,
of discipline.
where's
It
the
don't even
paddle?
gotta be lack of discipline.
It's lack of
A
discipline.
kid, it could be a kid could be a good kid and still rebel because they don't like
They can
something.
rebel. You're right. They can rebel, but there's levels. When cops started arresting parents for spanking their child, not abusing their child, we're so sensitive. And I'm not talking to you, but this world is so sensitive. When you talk about discipline, first thing people think is you got your child locked up and chained to the bed, and you're whooping them all day and night. Discipline and spanking a child creates when a child is born, the first disciplinary action they have is the doctor spanks the butt if the child's not crying to make that child cry. Am I right or wrong? Have y'all heard of that?
Lost, bro. Like
y'all
I have
haven't
no
heard of
idea
that?
what the fuck this got to do with the matter at hand. Maybe it's
Nothing at all.
Discipline. I'm answering his question. He
What?
said with the kids that we're dealing with today, I said you can fix that with discipline. You can fix most of that with most of the things that happen in the hood. You can fix
No,
it
I didn't say
with
kids of the
household
day. I
discipline.
said kids, period. Listen, a kid being rebellious, it doesn't mean that they're being bad. It just means that they're rebelling against whatever you're presenting. So
And they don't understand the
if you bring
consequences.
some dude around, and they don't like the dude, they're gonna rebel. They're not gonna listen to nothing this man gotta say. If they don't like him, they're
How
not
many
gonna listen.
niggas sit in front of the judge and don't like the judge?
That's
All
a
of them.
whole different thing. I'm talking about you talking
But the
about a
judge
woman.
is
You're
delegating.
talking about
But the judge. No,
that
listen.
don't even make sense.
Yes, it does. I'm gonna tell you why it makes sense. The judge is delegating righteous judgment. So it's a crooked judge on the panel. Why you keep talking about you gotta like the person that's properly
If a
raising
kid
you?
don't like kids naturally are rebellious in their teenage years. It's just
So-
it's something that they do.
Hey,
Okay,
hey,
so that doesn't allow them to not
What the
accept
judge
You don't
got to
watch the
do with
film.
my mother bringing some dude around? It's not
hey,
the
because
don't
be,
same.
watch the
because
film.
because you keep saying the kid might not like the guy
Exactly. He
that's
might
bringing
not.
structure.
Right. So that's
So I'm
not gonna.
so
It's not
to,
effective. If listen, she could
I
bring. She could
paraphrased
bring
it.
a
I
dude around. If she
paraphrased.
brings the dude and he don't, and the kid, boy or girl, don't like that man, it's not effective. What that man
The
says, they
understanding should
don't
be
care.
the understanding should be you're not to like him. I don't care if you don't like him. But he's going to tell you to slow the fuck down. He's going to tell you that your behavior is going to put you in
That can
jail.
make the
It's going to get you
situation
killed.
worse. That can make
Huh?
the situation worse.
Not if she's there.
No, it don't matter. It could make it worse. If the kid
I
don't like that person, that kid could walk up out that room and be like, I'm out of here.
so he doesn't respect the woman. That's
Am I
why she
lying,
can't leave.
Legend?
That's why
Am I
she can't
lying?
leave. That's why women can't leave because she doesn't. I would never walk out
Am I
on
lying?
my
I don't
father.
care if yo.
I would never walk out on my father.
My father's second wife. She couldn't tell me nothing.
I would never walk out on my father if he brought me around a bitch I didn't like. I would never walk out on him. Ever. I would
almost
respect my
punched that woman
father.
in her face.
The son
Legend,
should
I'm gonna
respect
talk
his
to you, Legend.
mother. The
Legend.
son should respect his mother.
I got mad respect for my father, right? You can
Right,
tell
right.
that by the way I talk about him.
Okay.
His second wife, I almost punched her in the face. Me nor my sisters, no matter how much we love our father, we did not like this woman. This woman, it was nothing this woman could tell us.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, we didn't like her. Right?
Yeah,
And later on, we had even more. We learned more things. When they wasn't together, we learned more things. It was a reason we didn't like this
You
woman.
don't have to
And he
like
was
somebody
married
who's
to-
telling you
And he
something
was
right.
married to her. He
You
was
don't have to
married
like.
to her.
You don't have to like somebody who's telling you something right. That's the
She wasn't
failure
ta-
right
it was
there.
nothing she could tell me. That's what you're not
How
understanding.
do you know
There's
when you keep saying
nothing
you don't
they
like
can
them?
tell you. There's
Why
nothing,
you don't? You
there's
have to break
nothing.
down why you don't like somebody. You have to break that down, brother. You have to break that down. Why you don't like? You don't just meet somebody for the first time and say you don't like
You don't
them.
think, all right, so let me ask you a question. You don't think that I'm not saying the woman just came and we ain't just like her. No, as we got to know this woman, we grew not to like this woman. Right? Me and my sisters grew not to like this woman. But here's what I'm telling you. Then it gets to a point where now she can't tell me nothing. Right? I'm only showing you courtesy because of my father. Right? So I ain't disrespecting you, but you still can't tell me nothing.
Right.
So
You
as a
understand?
father, that's how I'm gonna raise my son. You don't have to
Hold
like
on.
people.
Hold on. Time out.
Okay, we got all off track.
Listen. Can we please just get back on the topic, bro? Like, black queens raising.
We are on the topic. What are you
we
talking
not,
about?
man. We definitely
We
not.
were talking about a woman seeking out leadership from a male figure. What are y'all talking about?
Listen, we of course, whether you see the shit or
No,
not.
we're not.
Listen, I pointed out somebody addressed you and you addressed that person, and then the shit got off course. I'm just saying, bro.
We just talked about a woman seeking a male guidance. How do y'all not understand it? We were just talking about that. How was that off track? What?
His camera not working.
Hey, as long as you still here, fam, we good.
Yeah, but no.
But
Reflection is trying to say that these women,
when a woman is failing at her leadership, first of all,
that's why they're raising criminals.
She should never. No, first of all, she should never seek to raise a son by herself. She don't have to be in a relationship. She don't have to be in a relationship to seek male guidance. She doesn't have to be in a relationship to seek male guidance. When rappers get in trouble, they seek Louis Farrakhan. When Snoop Dogg was going through that situation with that murder trial, he sought Louis Farrakhan. He sought a male structured figure. Women need to take it that serious trying to raise a son. They need male structure. That boy needs male structure. How is that off topic? That's why women are failing. They're not queens because obviously they don't have the wisdom to seek out a male to help her raise this son. This male doesn't have to be the nigga she fucking. How is that off topic?
When I said that's off topic, I'm talking about
Jesus,
the
man.
discussion that's being had. When I say that's off topic, I'm talking about the discussion. I'm not talking about your
You said the topic is, are queens, quote unquote, raising criminals? Yes, they are, because they're not seeking male structure and guidance from an outside male figure if they don't have internal male guidance.
Okay, but that's not what we was talking about. So that's why I said we was off
Topic
topic.
is,
No, that's what
are
we was
queens
talking
raising
about.
criminals?
That's what we was talking about, because my point to him was
What are you talking about?
that doesn't always work.
And it doesn't always work like that. No matter how much you want it to be that way, that's just not how it works out. It doesn't always work that way.
But a lot of times y'all think I'm just on here or around here running. So I'm not a ferret. I'm not a hamster in the wheel. I was just saying it's imperative when a woman is impregnated with a boy, not a girl or a boy, she has to know, and she got 9 months to understand, I'm going to need male structure, whether I feel I need it or not, for this
And
boy.
all I'm saying to you is there's various ways that could backfire.
There is anything to backfire.
Right.
Yo, when you
that
say
was
you
my
gotta
point.
choose the
You
word
still have
for
to do your diligence, even in losing, even in
Here's what you
losing.
got to understand too. Here's the other thing that we got to understand too. This is 2025. I know most single mothers, they ain't got time for that. They ain't got time to be seeking out no man to be.
And that's the failure right there.
Nobody's
That's the failure right there.
You say
no, they
seeking,
don't, and they don't. Why they don't have time? They don't have time because they busting their ass working to provide for that kid.
So you shouldn't have had a kid.
Hey, listen.
You should have wore a condom. You have to think of these things. You should have wore a condom.
It's not always that they shouldn't have had a kid because you don't know the reason they had a kid. They could have been married. It could have been numerous reasons why they had a kid. Most of
the sexuality that's going on in the bedroom is not thought through. It's not healthy. It is not structured in the mindset of, am I financially capable of having a child? Is the partner I'm with gonna be around with this child? Y'all gotta stop making excuses for sexual foolishness. It's a lot of sexual foolishness going on, and y'all not. So who created condoms? They understood that there has to be guidance in the bedroom.
But you
they understood that.
But you just said they shouldn't be having babies.
Sex education. Who came up with sex education?
Reflection. You just said they shouldn't be having babies, right? I'm saying to you, everybody didn't have a baby off of they was just screwing around with somebody and had a baby. Everybody,
I took sex that serious. I didn't have a kid till I was 45. You can't preach that to me because I'm a role model for that example. I'm not just jaw jabbing. I didn't have my first kid till I was 45. I'm not saying you got to wait that long, but I understood the responsibility and I took it serious. And the reason why I took it serious because I had a proper foundation from my mother and my father, not just my mother.
You ain't let me finish what I was saying. Everybody don't become a single parent off the same thing. Everybody's not a single parent because they was just out here fucking somebody and then they just got pregnant. Some people have been married and they got divorced. Everybody got different circumstances on how they had kids. Everybody's version of having a kid ain't the same, bro. So you saying that they shouldn't have kids, or they say, yeah, some women have become single mothers because they was with a man however the relationship did not work, and then they broke up, and now she's a single mom.
Right, you're right, and that happened, and I have sympathy for that. But
okay, that was my point.
But soon as she realizes she's in that situation, all hands on deck, mayday, I gotta make sure I reevaluate and get my foundation restructured because now I'm a single mother. What am I going to do? She has to take it like that. I got to work 2 jobs now. What am I going to do? I'm the only breadwinner. What am I going to do? Women have to get back to the understanding of realizing how impactful it is to have a child. That's it. They have to get back to the understanding of how serious it is to have a child. Once they understand how serious that is, they will be able to change everything in their life.
So let me ask you a question. Hold on. Because now I ain't going to just put that on women that they have to understand how serious it is to have a child.
They're the ones we can walk away. We can walk away. They can't.
Hold on. No, well, depending on what state you in, you can't walk away neither. If you
don't have to bodily be there. You don't have to bodily be there.
But I promise you, if you ain't paying, you're gonna do some time behind it.
Yeah, but you know how much stress free you get without being around that bitch. Now guess what she's going through. Guess what turmoil she's going through.
My thing.
She's going through the emotion and turmoil, carrying that child 9 months.
The same way that women gotta take it, men gotta take it serious too. Like what are we talking about?
Yes, they should. But we're talking about women. As y'all say, stay on topic. We're talking about women. She has to understand the severity of it.
The point I'm saying is at the end of the day, everybody's situation ain't the same. So I'm not going to sit here and say that all women, they need to understand. No, because some women did understand the importance of having a kid, and some women did say, well, I gotta be married. Now, what happened in that marriage, not saying it's always the man's fault, but I know in a lot of cases, niggas did some bullshit.
Okay, you know why it took me so long to have a kid?
So long to have kids, nigga, you started.
You know why I waited? You know why I waited so long? You know why I waited so long to have a kid?
You started.
Because of the finance. Because of the financial part. Okay. Because of the finances. That's how serious I took it. Because if it didn't work out with me and the mother, I wanted to know, was I financially stable enough to still handle and take care of that child? That's how serious I took it. The way this generation is, the generation before, it's so fucked up. They don't even think and realize how serious it is to have a child in this world. That child becomes your life in your world, and that child controls everything you do from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed. That's not an accessory piece that you put in your closet or hang up in your living room or you post on Facebook. That's your heartbeat in your life. They control your finances. They control when you wake up. They control when you go to bed. They control when you hang out. They control how you dress, how you talk. That's how serious I took when I had my child, because I always understood the value and the seriousness of raising a seed in the world. I understood that. My life was gone when I had my child. My life was over. She took my life. That was it. I gave her my life. I don't live no more. I live through my child. How many women think that? How many women believe they live through their children?
Most of all the women I know.
That's a good question.
That's a damn lie, because the results is telling us a lie.
I said the women I know.
Most of these niggas don't want to work. Most of these niggas don't even want to work 2 jobs. They want to work 1 job and make it work.
What are the results? What results? What results are we talking about?
Food stamps. Food stamps.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know.
The crime rate. The crime rate. The crime rate. The crime. Most niggas handling their beef at a level that should not be. That mothers shouldn't be at the funerals the way they are. The level of mothers that's at funerals should not be.
I'm just telling you.
The consequences.
I'm just telling you, the women I know, I don't. A lot of the women I know that are single moms are doing a great job. I'm gonna just tell you that.
I'm not saying they're not, but I know there's more chaos in a single mother home than there is in a healthy foundation where there's a male figure. I guarantee you that.
Saying, and this is what this is why I say it all goes back to what I said earlier. The hood mentality is why all this is going on. It's the hood mentality.
No, I don't like that because you're when I hear you say the hood mentality, it's not making the woman accountable. No, a lot of women in the hood are not hood.
It's women with
a lot of women in the hood are not hood, homie. They're not hood. They're struggling.
I didn't say
they're struggling.
See, this is what
so
I'm
you
saying.
can't you can't apply.
You gotta listen to understand and not listen to respond. I said women with a hood mentality. I didn't say
No,
all
you didn't
wo-
say
I
that.
didn't
You said
say
it's the
I
hood
didn't say.
mentality.
See, you're not listening. I didn't say all women in the hood are hood. I said women with a hood mentality. That's a different thing. I didn't say all women in the hood are hood. That's not what I said. I said women with a hood mentality. That's a whole different thing.
Okay, so you saying men don't have a hood mentality?
That's not what we're talking about. I said
But
women,
okay, so I'm gonna
single
tell you this.
moms
So
in
I'm
the
tell you this.
hood, single moms
A man,
in the hood,
a
single
nigga in
moms.
a nigga in the hood can still raise a child, raise a son,
I
not a
didn't
child.
say nothing
A
about
nigga
that.
in the
You
hood,
bring.
a nigga with
I
a hood
didn't. That's not what
mentality.
I said. That's
Wait,
not
I'm
what I
about to
said.
break it down to you. A nigga with a hood mentality
We all
can
copy.
still be a better father to a son than a woman with a hood mentality.
Thank you, Benz. That's the point I'm making. What I'm saying is, the reason that I feel, you said the black queens are raising criminals. Okay, I'm saying I feel like it's women in the hood with a hood mentality that are single moms, and that's why these boys is turning out like that. That's my opinion. Women with a hood mentality, raising their kids in the hood, they got this hood mentality. They got this nigga mentality, and they in the hood and they smoking and drinking and doing all this bullshit and collecting unemployed and collecting child support here, and they not raising their kids. And I drive Uber. You know how many times I've done picked up chicks in the projects during school, and they coming out the projects and they taking their kids to school, they taking the Uber because one probably they late, and they getting in the car and the mother smells like fucking weed at 7 a.m.
I heard that 1,000 times from several
I'm
teachers.
not picking up white moms and having to smell that. I'm not picking up no other races and smelling that. I'm picking up black women in the hood. If you smoking at 6, 7 in the morning in the projects and taking your kid to school and they smell that, I know I smell it. They get in my car, I smell
If
it.
if you're LeBron
That's hood
James,
shit. That's hood mentality.
if you're LeBron James, Michael Jordan, or Shaquille O'Neal, and you step on that court, you're gonna be smart enough to know no matter how good you are, you can't win a game by yourself, no matter how good you are. I say
Hey,
that to say this because you niggas don't understand parables. No matter how qualified a woman is, she has to have the true understanding that a man must be present enough to help properly structure a
But that's
boy.
not what I was talking about.
That's what I'm talking
look.
about
This
now.
nigga,
Hey,
That's why they're failing
hold
because
on.
they don't
Time
have
out.
the understanding of the
I don't.
impact of a
Okay,
male.
so I'm gonna
Hey,
just tell you I disagree.
okay, listen, real quick.
Matter of
Hey,
fact, wasn't LeBron's mom a single mom?
hey, hold
yeah.
on. Look, reflection said when he made a statement, and you said it, you made a statement, whatever. And now he's talking about if you're a LeBron or you're Shaquille. I get what he's saying and everything like that, but most women are not Shaquille
Even though
O'Neal.
you're
And
qualified, you
most
can't win
women,
the game
listen, most
by
women are not
yourself.
LeBron. Most women are not LeBron James. We already get that.
But they're
But
qualified. You said they're qualified
listen,
to
I
raise a
didn't say
child by
anything.
themselves.
Listen, fam,
A
real quick.
son, not a child, a son. They're not.
All right, but look. Most women are not LeBron James. Most women are not Shaquille O'Neal. We get that. But listen. Most importantly, we can definitely continue this conversation on another note.
Thank
My
you.
name is Legend. I appreciate everybody being on the show. And on behalf of my boy Freddie
Listen,
Benz, on behalf of Freddie Benz, he appreciate all of us being on the show.
I just
And
want to say,
it's been 2 hours. And like I said, man, we could definitely continue this conversation
yes.
on another episode. But for
And I
now, we
just want
gotta
to say,
wrap this
shout
shit
out.
up. And on behalf of Freddie Benz, we gonna
I
wrap it
just,
up, my G.
I just want to just say,
Yeah.
shout out to all the women that did a good job raising their sons, and
Right,
that their
right.
sons didn't turn out to be.
They
Their sons
survived it.
turned out to be model citizens. Shout out to them.
Right.
Shout
Right,
out to all the
right.
queens that actually raised their kids,
Yeah.
raised their sons properly, and got their sons through the hard times. So
Yeah.
shout out to you women, because I know y'all are out there, regardless of what Reflection says.
Yeah, this wasn't about women. Man.
I'm not trying to survive nothing. They survived
Regardless
it.
what
They
he said,
survived
y'all
it.
out there.
They
God bless y'all.
survived it. They survived it.
Hey,
God bless y'all.
it's always a pleasure seeing y'all, man. Until the next one, y'all be good.
Peace.
You already.
Peace.
Keep surviving, ladies.